Hello. Here we are, day two of December, and then I've got quite a break before I'm back with my tag version. Now, I have printed today's off twice, so I've got two copies of today's. I have a little plan, not sure it's going to work out completely, but we'll give it a go. So I'm just going to grab my ink first of all. So I've cut both of the tags out, and the first thing I want to do is just ink around these, because I might not get the opportunity to do that later. Now these ones, because I'm doubling tags, I'm doing two, I'm not mounting on the file folder card, because I think it might be a little bit too thick if I do that. That's my two tags, and like I said yesterday, it's quite important that I make sure I'm doing this correctly. Now I'm going to open my tags out, and I've just dyed a little piece of red fabric. It didn't matter what the pattern was, because it's going to be mostly hidden. Now I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm going to do this. Ooh, that's the third one. Okay, I'm going to just put a little bead of glue down here first of all. And put that, I'm going to turn it over actually. I'm going to put it half on and half off. I want to make sure there's a bit either side. Lovely. And now that's down, I'm just going to backfill with glue. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to turn that over, and this time I'm going to glue this side. I know I've got a little bit to play with, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue around there, and I'm going to line this up, but I want a little gap, not too big a gap, but I want a little gap. So that's just 1 millimetre or so between those two tags. Right. So now I'm going to glue this tag. Glue that closed. And this is where the red comes from on my hands, unfortunately. Came from this, dyeing this piece of fabric. And I'm going to just do the same over here. They might not quite, little bit of an error, but it's fine. Not quite perfect. So I'm just going to trim out this piece of excess in this corner. And now we have our fold. So like I said, I have made a bit of a lining up error there, but I'm okay with that. It's no big deal. It's 1 millimetre, not a problem. So we now have a book-like type tag. The next thing I want to do is add a tie, and this is thanks to the fabulous Ideas ×2 in some Happy Mail they sent to me. This is going to be my front, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue in a line along there and hold this down. Give that a little minute to catch. So I'm just going to extend that a little bit, because this is nice and crinkly, and I want the ends to be crinkly, but I need this bit along here to be quite flat. So I'm going to do that. Right, now as it comes across, I'm just going to put a small amount of glue there where stitching is going to go. All that, make sure that's dry, and then a small bead there again where it's going to be stitched. But that is pretty good. Now, before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew around both my tags, but I want to do a little bit of prep first. Right, so the little Christmas is magic, I've backed that onto a little bit of cardstock. I'm going to ink this ready, and just with a small amount of glue I'm going to glue these two edges here and just put that into the corner of that tag. And now I'm going to sew around both of these tags. Okay, so that's now done. And we've actually lined that up really well. So what I am going to do quickly is just ink this inside where you can see the stitching. My sewing machine probably needs a new needle actually, so I'm going to do that before the next video. So there we go, we've got our little kind of open booklet. So I'm going to, before we work on the front, I'm just going to work on this bit here. Now I've got a couple of pieces of paper and I'm just going to make a really small notebook that I'm going to stick into here. Nothing fancy, a couple of pages will be fine. Very little notepad. So I want to kind of coordinating paper really. Let's see. That's quite nice, isn't it? That might work. So that's the widest piece. I want to cut about there. Let's just trim the width first. We don't want it too thick, that will do. Using my largest piece of paper as a guide. I'll put that through there. That was pants, wasn't it? Oh, I used the length rather than the width. Let's do that again. So I'm going to fold this in half. Simple fold and ink it. Might add a little word to this in a minute, but for now I'll slide my, okay, and all I'm going to do is put a stitch along here. I'm hoping this is not too thick, it won't close. That looks okay. So I'm going to glue that in place. So if you actually want to do journaling, this gives you a perfect little journaling spot. I'm going to cut out this. I'm going to go for All Is Bright, I think. And this obviously doesn't come with the kit. This is a freebie. If you... Yeah, so if you don't have, if you're not on Facebook, these words will be in the Foxy Rag. They are in the Foxy Rag, so you can grab them there. Make sure you're subscribed to receive your free copy. Okay, right, that's that done. Now I have, not that one, that's the not mounted one. I've mounted... Right, let me just sort this out. They're not mounted and these are mounted. So these are the two that are mounted. I'm going to ink these and I haven't quite decided if I'm going to sew. I don't think I am. I think I'm going to leave those without sewing. So I want some cardboard. Got my, oh, got some scrap cardboard here. I'm just going to make sure that's... Now, obviously, you can do lots of things if you want to. You can do some embossing like I did yesterday. You could put some little sparkles. Right. pop that on the back. So this, like I said, I've already mounted this, so it's on cardstock, or it's on a piece of that file folder, just to give it a little bit of stability. Hold that down for a moment. And then I'm going to add it to the front of my main tag. So line that up and hold that in position. Okay. I'm going to hold that into the, line that up and hold that down for a moment. Okay, so that's going to be the front. So we've got some nice dimension going on there. So we've got a little booklet inside, and here we have another tag. So just to give us even more writing space, I'm going to make a very, very straightforward thin tag. I'm not going to put any weight to this. I'm not going to back it. I'm not going to sew it. I'm just going to literally ink that, glue this on, and that's going to pop in that little side pocket like that, and then this will tie closed. Now I've given myself way too much, but that's okay. I'm going to cut off, I'm going to cut off a little bit of these, and they can go in the tops of some tags, but that is my day 2. Okay, so we can open that up, and then inside we have our little corner pocket tuck, and we have a little notebook in there. So day 2 is done. Now let's grab our box and put day 2 in there. So day 2 is now in place, and I love it when it starts to fill, and I do. I'm getting so excited. Antonio is day 3, so make sure you go along to the advent calendar and click on his link, subscribe to his channel, and his video will be live tomorrow at some point. So that's day 2. I hope you enjoyed that. I will be back for more of this December daily on day 22. But I do hope to be doing some tags for non-kit versions in between then. I will see you all really soon. Thanks again for joining us. Bye.